First of all, let me thank Dun & Bradstreet for inviting me to have this keynote speech on this reshaping of the financial world, the navigating change in the new paradigms of asset management. Change is constant, but first and foremost, before I talk about the change, I come from an institution which is called State Bank of India. I think some of you people are staying here. And that I worked for more than 37.5 years and then superannuated there. It all started in 1805 and existed till now because the change is constant in this particular organization. And I also compliment Dun & Bradstreet because I've seen that they have started in 1841. And there's constantly changing and they're surviving even today. So change is something which is very constant, and unless you do that, you would not survive. These two organizations are a clear picture of that. And I have a very good connection with DNB because I used to take the credit reports when I was working as international banking head, and I have a fond memories of DNB right from my junior officer days. One of the things that happening in the asset management, as I said, the change keeps continuously happening. And for this particular topic, I would like to make it into 3 phases. One, we look at what are the drivers of the change today, and we'll also talk about what are the challenges which the asset management is looking at, and what are going to be the opportunities that would be emerging out of this. So I'll be talking on these 3 things. When I'm talking about the asset management, the more important thing that we'll have to look at is the microeconomic shifts that's happening. All of you know about what has happened on January 20th when Donald Trump has become the president of US. There is a total geopolitical change. Every day news keeps happening, and we keep seeing the Twitter or the X, that what we call now, more often than not, because we would like to know what he is going to talk about and how things are shaping up. And at the same time, we are also looking at, if you look at the recent OECD project report that has come up, it talks about the economy growing at a pace of 3.3% in 2025, and they talk about the stagflation, where there is a possibility of lower growth and a possible higher inflation. So we have an economies which may not go. Of course, India is a bit of an exception, growing at 6.2% over the next 2 years. So we have the challenges of managing our assets in this unpredictable geopolitical economic environment. The second important challenge, I'm sure RBI the director did speak about, is the technology and data revolution. AI and the machine learning has become the engines that drive the next phase of financial transformation. These 2 things stand as the most transformative advancements of our times. And the growing significance is reflected in both in the financial institutions, and regulators are increasingly engaging these topics. In fact, today we have seen in Economic Times a news item which said that Reserve Bank of India will use artificial intelligence and machine learning tools to predict the future outcomes, spot the abnormal activities, and manage risk in a fast-changing financial landscape. For asset managers, these technologies are enabling us to take smarter investment decisions, optimize the portfolios, and deliver personalized solutions to our investors. The third driver of change, which I'm looking at, is the sustainability and ESG. Wherever you talk about, you look at environmental, social, and governance. Governance plays an extremely vital role when we are looking at it, and that is a major people, the young generation that you're looking at, always are looking at the values, they're looking at the investments that are looking at ESG as one of the important items. Regulatory shifts, I think the ma'am did speak about it. I was heading the international banking group, overseeing around 31 jurisdictions across the globe, and regulatory changes keep happening every second, and they're so well interconnected today. One country or one change happens, it is reflected everywhere across the globe. and IOSCO, where you and I are exposed to. I mean, they keep changing the regulations. And is there an overload of information being provided to customers? We really don't know, because there's so many SMSs that you talked about. At the same time, we are publishing, if you would have seen something like mid-cap and small cap, we are giving a lot of information on our site. How many of you people are deciphering this information and doing the right things? We'll have to wait and watch. But the point that I'm trying to say is there is a regulatory shift, and we need to be conscious of this particular aspect. The changing demographics, well, Gen Z has come, they're totally looking at a different way in which they're looking at investments. And if you look at the recent regulations, recent product innovation that has come introduced by the SEBI, where we had talked about a special product that's going to be coming between the PMS and the mutual fund. We are introducing a new product that's going to come that's specifically looking at the requirement of the Gen Z. Are there any challenges? While these are the drivers of the change, we're looking at challenges. The challenges obviously are adapting the technology, the change that is happening at a faster pace, the cost at which we need to implement all these technological changes is one of the biggest challenges that we have. The other important thing that we are looking, all of you must be aware of, and all of us are facing, is the talent transformation. We're looking at the way in which the products are being manufactured, the way in which the customers or investors are looking at. So for that, I need to have a better talent, people who can understand the models, build up the products as per the customer's requirement. So is another bigger challenge. The third challenge, of course, which was there right from the time that I entered into the markets, is the market volatility. But volatility or the black swan events used to happen, what we used to talk about happen is to one in its lifetime. But as we speak now, we are seeing so many black swan events happening, and markets are extremely, extremely volatile. So while we talked about the drivers of the change, we talked about the challenges, the ESG integration, everything, it throws out a lot of opportunities for us. It's the personalization is at scale. I mean, technology enables us to tailor-make the products as per the customer's requirement. Today morning, I think tomorrow you'll be seeing in the papers, today morning we had launched what we call as the Choti SIP. The Choti SIP is something that we are offering 250 rupees as a systematic investment product for people across the country to invest into the mutual funds. That could be made possible because we have got the changes, improved our technology, which will go to the nook and corner of the country. And of course, we brought in certain changes we took certain concessions from various agencies that are involved in it. But operational costs we could reduce, and we are in a position to offer that. Sustainable investing, while I talked about, is one of the drivers of the change. But believe me, if you are following the sustainable investing, there is a great pool of funds that are available, which will enable us to bring those funds for the investors to bring in. And not to talk about the global reach. I mean, we can reach out to any part of the globe. We can start investing, but of course, subject to regulatory guidelines, with the investments can be done where the opportunities are there. And while technology is improving, and in the banking sector, or for that matter, any sector, there is the most important part of it is the collaboration and partnerships. What we can't do, we can collaborate with someone else and bring the technology to us. But embracing the future, when we talk about one important thing, while we talk about the drivers of change, the challenges, the opportunities that are there, one thing that is most important for our asset management is the trust. The trust is something which is extremely important, and trust me, the disclosures that mutual fund or asset management industry does is one of the best in the globe. Nowhere you have the disclosures that is being done by the asset management companies in India. Nowhere in the globe it happens. And that trust is extremely important, be it in the form of disclosures, be it in the form of providing information, be it in the form of giving returns, be it in the form of informing, educating these students. And one point that I was looking at in the RBI's presentation was talking about financial inclusion and financial literacy. And for your kind information, today we started another program, what we call as Tarun Yojana, where we will be educating the small students in high schools of 8th and 9th standard. And they in turn will conduct an exam and then make them invest into SIPs. So financial literacy is extremely important. As we speak now, literacy is only, while literacy is 80% or more, financial literacy is 27%, and that needs to improve. And as I said, the most important part of our investing for the asset management companies is a trust. And as we navigate in this new area, let us remember that this is the most important, and I'm sure with this cutting-edge technology, sustainable investing, our goals is to build and maintain this trust to our clients. Thank you all for patient hearing. God bless all of you.